Hello, Edmonton. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. This week, I had the distinct pleasure of sitting down with two fascinating individuals, Jordan and Tony. Several years ago, these guys quit their jobs to work for free, in a manner of speaking. They started F.R.E.E Fitness. Now, F.R.E.E Fitness is a local Edmonton fitness company that operates as a pay-as-you-feel model. Now, this is a concept that has really taken off lately. It focuses the business on providing exceptional value to their clientele. It also eliminates the floor of your earning potential, but also the ceiling, so higher potential there. These guys are just incredibly likable, charismatic, fun, hilarious dudes. They're doing some really cool stuff within Edmonton, providing value for a lot of people and building communities in the fitness world. So check them out. Listen to the podcast here. I hope you enjoy. Well, we're live here sitting with Justin Pariseau. Is that how you say it?
No, it is Jordan Pariseau.
Sorry, Jordan.
That's all right, bro.
Jordan Pariseau.
Jordan Pariseau.
And Tony Nguyen. The guys from F.R.E.E Fitness.
That's right.
Now, everyone's wondering, F.R.E.E Fitness, it's not actually free, or it is or it isn't. Tell us the story.
Well,
how many times have you told this story?
Oh, at this point?
A handful of times. I love telling it. It's my favorite story.
It's definitely more than a handful. Maybe Shaquille O'Neal handful. Yeah. We've done it for a minute now. Where do we start? I guess let's start.
Let me start.
How did you guys meet each other?
So we both started at a commercial gym, World Health.
Yeah.
We became friends because I loved Jay's dreadlocks, and I was like, man, how can you not like this guy? He's so cool.
How do I get my hair to do that?
Yeah, I want my hair like that. How we actually became friends was we were sitting together, and we were like prepping for this manager integration course, and we get this group email, and the first email is respectjj@hotmail.com. I look over at Jordan, I'm like, look at this guy, respect JJ. He looks over and he's like, yo, Tony, like, that's my email. So, instant friendship. Essentially, we started at World Health, and I decided that it was the time for me to leave after 1 year because I felt like our potential for growth was limited. You know, don't get me wrong, it was a good year at World Health, but I knew that we had more to offer to the community of Edmonton, and we just couldn't do that working in a commercial facility like that.
Right, same with any business, right? You can't grow working for someone else as much as you can on your own, where you're in complete control.
That's right.
Yeah.
So then I left, went to a private studio, custom fit. It was awesome. Still felt limited, and it was perfect because then we met. Jordan was kind of following along, keeping track of things, and he's like, man, like, I'm ready to leave. Let's partner up with another guy of ours. His name's Cole. He's still one of the founders here, just doing his own thing right now. But then Jordan and I kind of took control of F.R.E.E Fitness here, and it's been an awesome 2 years so far, and we're continuing to grow further and further.
Was it just your 2-year anniversary recently?
Yes, February 16th. So
it's coming out.
Yeah, so it's almost 3 years now. Yeah, it's almost 3 years.
Because you guys started 2015, right?
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Man, my time moves fast.
Time flies.
Actually, it's been... No. Are you sure? Dang.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing so far.
Mind blowing on the podcast. Okay, so then who was the first person to say, I got this crazy idea?
So that would be Cole.
Cool. Okay.
So it's evolved. Like it didn't start off as smoothly as it is now, and we definitely have had our shares of learning experiences with this system. But I remember Cole called me up one day, I'm chilling, working on some music probably, and he's like, yo, I got this crazy idea because we were trying to figure out something different. We needed something. We got together. And we knew we were going to start something, and Cole and Tony were kind of doing their own thing before I joined, and then we got together and we were trying to figure out kind of like what we wanted to do, and Cole calls me one day and he's like, yeah, I got this crazy idea. And I believe at first there was a bidding one. There's one where you bid for certain time slots, and it just got too confusing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay. What if we train people for free? I'm like,
silence.
I'm like,
what?
Hold up, G. This time I believe I was at World Health for 3 years. I'm like, I was leaving, and I was going to actively start pursuing music more in depthly. And then, then we were talking more, and things were going great with them, and so we started collaborating. And I was like, man, so I just quit my job, and now you want me to train people for free?
Yeah.
On top of trying to do music, so ain't no money coming from there either.
No, you got to pay the bills, right?
This is crazy. And he's like, no, like I think it's gonna work. And then he's like, well, just like let them figure out what to pay us. I'm like,
right.
So not only is it going to be free, but then they get to pay us whatever they want. It's like, yeah, it will work. He's like, we just got to give them value.
Where did Cole get this idea from?
Because he was in a situation where, so what happened was he would meet people and he would bring them into me, and I would sell them training. I'm not a salesman. I'm a fitness trainer. I'm trying to help people lose weight, build muscle. I'm not a salesman. So then we were just kind of in this loop where we had to meet the people with disposable income, rich people. Yeah. But you know what? There's a whole market of people who need fitness that just simply can't afford $75, $85 an hour. And we see these people walking down the street all day. So we bring these people in who need it, but then you know what? You can't afford 12 sessions at $75, Yeah. So he's like, let's expand this. Let's try to hit this market. Mm-hmm. Let's train people for free to see what happens. Right. Not because, we wanted to just not make money, but to provide as much value to these people as possible, to the point where they were like, let's pay you because you guys are doing so well for us. Yeah. Right?
What's interesting is it takes away your floor, but it also takes away your ceiling too, right?
I love that.
Like people come in, and when you charge a set amount, then you're just doing the bare minimum to be effective to that amount sometimes. Not everyone, but typically you fall into the routine of that, right? But if you have no amount, you just like over deliver, literally make it as good as you can, then your ceiling becomes way higher immediately.
Amen. And it didn't come without its flaws, though.
Of course. Nothing easy does.
And so one of the beginning stories is probably my second or third week, and this is when we started training people for free, and we didn't have our system down packed yet. And so rolling people in, people are paying me pretty decent. I'm like, hey, this is
this is working. I can't believe it. Yeah.
And then we get one guy. And this is before we had what we call now our commitment phase. Mm-hmm. Because there was something about this relationship that just didn't click. Mm-hmm. And that's what we figured out was one of the most key and vital purposes of how the system works and how people saw the best results. And this guy, people were paying me well, and then this guy comes and he pays me $40 for 8 sessions.
$5 an hour.
$5 a session.
$5 and don't get me wrong, I delivered as much as I could with this guy. And then we figured it out, and we're like, something needs to change for this to not keep happening. Yeah,
did you canvass him for an explanation, or was it awkward? Like, did you ask him, hey man, like, is this really the value you see in this? Or
and that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was, and it was the one person not being able to see what value I was actually portraying with him. Yeah. And it was basically built on the relationship. It was a poorly structured relationship. Mm-hmm. It was an awkward relationship. And then moving forward, that was one thing that we really had to heavily look into. And so now when we do our commitment phase, this is where you do get the free training. Yeah. However, there's guidelines to it. Right. You do have to listen. Like for weight loss clients, you typically have to food log. No matter what, you have to come see us twice a week. Mm-hmm. And then once you've made it through this phase, if you do make it through this phase, which we try to get you through, then we offer the pay how you feel to you.
Right. So it's setting up expectations on both sides, right?
Exactly. It's like a trial to a team, right? Like typically trials are free. Mm-hmm. Then you make the team. Yeah. Then you have to pay.
Yeah. You have to. It doesn't work in pro sports like that. Yeah. You have to see if you want to play for that coach too, right? If it's a one-sided relationship, the other person has no skin in the game, I suppose, right? 100%. So then you set up this 2-week commitment phase, and then you train them how many times a week for that?
Well, the commitment phase is actually open-ended.
Oh, it's open-ended.
So it could be as short as a session, and it could be as long as a month. It really depends on
your relationship.
Right.
So the cool thing is, like, imagine a client who's been trying to lose weight for the last 6 months, and they lost 5 pounds in the last 6 months because they didn't know that ice cap they're eating every morning was the reason why they're getting those additional calories and sugar.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, during the commitment phase, like, you have to food log if I'm going to train you for free. Because if I'm going to train you for free, you better meet me halfway.
Yeah.
And you better cut out those ice caps. And all of a sudden, in 2 free sessions, she loses 4 pounds. While she was trying to lose 5 pounds over 6 months. There's so much value now in that trainer that you know she's going to pay you well, and you know she's going to pay you fairly for what you've produced for her. Right?
What's interesting is the client might view that as like, oh, I have to do this. It's like a requirement, but not realizing that that's typically something a trainer would charge more for. You have to do your diet plan too, right?
And now we're doing it for free because that's value. That's what we believe in, right? We don't believe health should have a set price. Because you know what? People can afford $85 an hour. Some people can afford $30 an hour.
Yeah.
But it creates this community that we're striving for.
Yeah.
And it helps us reach a greater demographic of people.
The market will set the price ultimately, right?
That's right.
Do you guys feel like you just get this snowball effect of now that your business is centered around giving more value than you get? Like, does it just come back tenfold in your life?
It does, and it's bigger and bigger opportunities. Like, we did an interview with CTV, was it?
Yeah, it was CTV twice now. Yeah.
And the first time it was when I believe they found us when we were hosting a boot camp, right?
Amazing story. I love this story. So one of my clients, she's a figure skating coach, and she's like, hey, can you run this boot camp for these 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds? And, a lot of people would turn that down because, we're doing it for free.
Yeah.
But one of the moms of those figure skaters, her husband works for CTV. So she just couldn't stop talking about how awesome our energy was and how fun it was. And then I think it was like 3 weeks later, we get this phone call. Hey, we're doing this health segment. We'd love for you guys to be on this.
Yeah.
So it was indirectly a referral because I think that next 2 weeks we've got 20 new clients.
Yeah. But you never know where that's going to come from.
It's full circle.
It's like you just have to treat everyone with the utmost respect, and you never know that someone's going to jump in there and provide value for you. Yeah. Plus, it probably just feels good to continually be giving and giving. Right?
And it's honestly a passion. Like, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to do these big group classes. It's fun.
Yeah.
So have you ever thought, hey, can we take this principle and apply it to a different business or another business?
Oh man, Shane, you got to hear this.
Okay.
I've been talking about this all the time because it keeps the trainer accountable too. So if you get paid poorly, you probably did a crappy job, right? So imagine this. Imagine a barbershop that did pay how you feel. Could you imagine the lineup out that door onto the street across the road with a barber doing a pay how you feel?
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous. Yes, you would get the people that paid less, but you would create an awesome community with that. And then you would get the people that understands that they're going to pay you fairly or more for the effort that you're putting in to help the community.
Yeah,
right.
That's a gamble for the barber, though, right? Like, what if he gets like 5 bad back-to-backs, and I guess you gotta try. You gotta gamble, right? You gotta be confident in your skills.
That's the thing, right? Imagine you give the best haircut to someone who's been struggling to find a barber. They're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'm going to pay you more for that. But yes, you're right. It is a gamble.
I don't know if that would work for me because sometimes I leave a barber and I'm like, man, this is such a good cut, and then I get home later and I can't style it the way they styled it, and I'm like, damn, I need to get it cut every day to look this good. Okay, so let's rewind. Let's go back to the genesis story of you guys, and you can pick who starts first. But how is it that you were raised to the point that you guys are these awesome, personable people, and that you got into fitness to begin with?
Oh man, I love the story. So my parents are actually born in Vietnam, and they actually immigrated during the Vietnam War. So
north, south,
north side.
North.
So they took a boat. So they're boat people to Canada. So I wake up sometimes thinking I have a tough life. Yeah, it's cold outside. It's 6 a.m. They spent 2 weeks on a boat eating a cup or a spoonful of rice and a spoonful of water for 2 weeks.
And they were together?
They were not together.
They weren't together. Were they on the same boat?
They weren't even on the same boat. They didn't even know each other.
What if they met on the boat?
Yeah, hilarious, right? So, for something like that, it seriously motivates me every day because I know that I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
They worked their asses off to give me this opportunity to be sitting here with you guys. Be able to give back to a community that I love in Edmonton. Ironically enough, they didn't meet until they met at KFC. My dad's cooked chicken, and my mom's a dishwasher. They're actually the first Vietnamese couple to be married in Whitehorse, Yukon, which is where I'm from. So even a smaller place than where I am.
That's wild.
Isn't that wild?
That's such a good, that's a great KFC feel-good story.
I know, right? So our favorite place, my dad loves Toonie Tuesdays. Yeah. It brings back good memories.
Is that like where they go on their anniversary?
Just taking a family KFC. So, I'm very lucky, and each day just makes me want to be a better person because of them.
So when did you move to Edmonton?
I moved to Edmonton in 2009 when I went to school at the University of Alberta.
Oh, okay. Are your parents still back in Whitehorse?
They're still there, actually. They're moving to Vancouver because I have 3 older sisters that moved to Vancouver after they graduated high school. So,
what do they do there?
So I have a sister who's a rehab consultant, a police officer, RCMP, as well as a marketer. So
okay. Well, you guys got the whole spectrum covered in.
Yeah, whole spectrum. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you got to Alberta, Edmonton. You did your university here.
Yeah.
Kinesiology, right?
Yeah, Bachelor of Science.
Yeah. And then did you go straight into World Health from there?
I did, actually. Yeah. So I've always loved fitness. I also always knew that I had this passion to be a business owner or being an entrepreneur because I loved being able to control my own future.
Right.
And it was just a perfect combination. I could put those back together because I went to played a lot of sports growing up too, so I loved that, and this is just the perfect opportunity to collaborate with that.
It's awesome that you knew that and you didn't question hey, am I going to go into an office job? Am I going to go into history or something that you just weren't passionate about?
Yeah, so I knew it right away. So.
Yeah. It must feel good too, you're on this path and you've never deviated from it.
No, pretty focused. When you have good partners like Jordan, we keep each other motivated. It's much easier to do things as a team rather than individual, right? We're always bouncing ideas off each other.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So
okay, so Jordan, let's hear it.
My background's a little bit different. Dang, where should I even start?
Where were you born?
I was born and raised in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Born and raised here. My background, is a little bit different. It's had its own road bumps in the map. My family comes from a little bit of a harder background, We've dealt with, I've had problems with gang members and drugs and stuff like that, But I grew up playing basketball. I grew up being pretty fit, having that outlet with my cousins and my family, playing take football, all things like that.
Yeah. Was sports something that kept you out of trouble specifically?
I'd say the combination of both sports and music.
Yeah.
I figured out that I needed both in my life in order to keep myself sane.
Yeah.
If I had one of either, it was too much. So I needed the balance of both to keep me sane.
Interesting.
And so growing up, I had cousins in gangs. I had cousins in drugs. I had cousins. I had uncles in all kinds of stuff. We were kind of all over the map, and I really, I wanted to be different. I wanted to get out of the rut of family issues and people blaming family for holding you down, and whatever have you. And so I became a trainer after I went to high school. I got certified. I did condensed program through ACE. I got hired at World Health right away. At the same time, I was also still pursuing music, so I was doing a lot of club stuff. I was in the clubs a lot, doing a bunch of shows and stuff when I was fresh 18. And then we started actively pursuing smaller projects. I was working with Nguyen, my producers from there. And then from there, we kind of branched off. And then when I was leaving World Health, because I was just okay, I need something else. I need to be great. I can't be great here.
Yeah, gotta stretch your wings and fly.
And that's it. And so I was going through some personal things there too. My parents were divorcing. Actually, my girlfriend, who is now I'm dating again, we broke up.
Well, that's good that you're back together.
So we recorded this whole album. So at the same time, so we started Free Fitness. I started another company called Prime Purpose. Now it's called Media. It used to be called Music. And so then I started actively pursuing both as an entrepreneur on my own with my teams, as groups.
Yeah, of course. So I want to ask you something because I think it brings a really interesting light to perspective. But what about your mindset caused you to go down the path of, music and fitness versus drugs and gangs? Being surrounded in that.
Oh, that's an interesting point. I would have to. I think it was just that I was aware of the cycle. Like, I was aware of like what was happening and what other people were doing, and the cycle, it just kept them in. And I was like, you know what? I just got to tap. And it sucks because I had to detach myself from a lot of people. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people are willing to cut relationships like that. But I knew what I wanted ultimately, and that's just sacrifice.
Yeah, you got to set up the life the way you want it set up, right? But I think perspective-wise too, like you could have gone either way. So you hit the fork in the road, and if you asked you why you would be in that position, it's like, well, how else would I have turned out? But like, you can have the same person exposed to a bad situation either fall right into it or go the complete 180 direction, and it's all like perspective and how you view it, right? 100%. If you are a guy who obviously knows that you can take control of your destiny. If you were a guy who thought that, destiny is preordained, you would have just been like, wow, what else am I going to do, right?
100%.
So, kudos to you for choosing that and for being strong. So you guys got together, started F.R.E.E. Fitness, and you're 2.5 years in, as we've just kind of figured out, almost 3 years in.
Yeah. Dang.
Talk about giving back and sort of your events that you set up for free, and you've got a fundraiser coming up.
Yeah, so we started doing these free boot camps at the the Glenora Stairs, and the reason why we just wanted to get more involved with the community. We wanted to show that fitness could be fun. It's about the good experience, and then getting exercise in. So we created these free boot camps on every week to get more people involved with exercise, and it was essentially, I guess, a funnel into our training program too.
Right.
We wanted to once again offer more value for people, as well as to show our faces to them, because a lot of times you think of personal trainers, these guys on steroids, with their muscle shirts cut off, but we're not like that. We're very open and friendly. You can pretty much talk to us about anything.
It's intimidating until you guys open your mouths, right? That's like, right. It's these fit people who are like so self-confident and assured, and until you get to like actually talk, it's it's kind of, you're scared to go in, right?
So that free boot camp turned from 12 people to 15 to 30 to 50 to our biggest boot camp of just under 80 people. Now imagine 80 people doing burpees on top of the stairs, right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right? And then they kept
approaching cult level.
That's right? And it kept snowballing that. We were like, man, how do we stay ahead of these games? Because now we see free boot camps opening up left and right.
Yeah. So other people are doing it too.
Oh yeah, World Health started doing it. No. Free community boot camp. Like, oh, this looks familiar.
They're sweating, man.
Yeah, right.
So you guys are pushing the big guys.
They know, and that's the thing. We always want to stay out one step above. Yeah. So then what we started doing is we started reaching out to different niches. We met Sri. Amazing yoga instructor. So now we host free yoga events to stay one ahead of the game.
Nice.
Well, what can we do from there? Well, we started doing free stair runs.
Yeah.
Well, from there, let's combine them all. Let's do our free 100 event where we bring 100 people to run through Edmonton to take it to that next level.
Yeah.
Right. On top of that, we have a meditation instructor joining us soon. Right, to offer more value to our clients. To our community. You don't have to train with us to be part of our community.
Right, absolutely.
Right?
And so you guys are eventually branching out to have something for everyone, right? Because I think I've heard you say before, like, such an important piece of fitness is finding the activity that's going to be sustainable for you to do, that you're going to want to do every day, right?
That's right. Yep.
So what else are you guys going to branch into?
Who knows? Like,
are we going to have free hockey?
Free hockey? Free rec?
Yeah, free rec hockey.
Hey, maybe not. I don't know how to skate.
I'll teach you. I can instruct that.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Here we go.
So
the cult is growing.
Today, Jay and I met with this unbelievable individual named Kyle, and her company's called QueerFlex. So she's owner of, she's highly involved with the LGBTQ community. And that's something we want to start incorporating, because once again, our goal is to make fitness accessible to everyone. So we want to create this safe environment for this community as well. So always trying to stay, moving forward with this.
Right, that inclusion factor is so important.
Inclusion,
right? Reach out first and be the guy to extend the olive branch.
That's right, and we're always trying to find people with similar values to us, right? Who are willing to give back, who are willing to volunteer, who are willing to go that extra mile for people. It's hard to find.
It is, and we again, we've had our shares of working with people who we thought had the same mindset, who just don't quite,
not that quite,
And so, like, trainers you've had with you that you're like, nah, you can't stay.
Yeah.
Well, hire quick but fire quick, right? Yeah. You got to own those mistakes. You guys don't seem like the type to hide behind your mistakes and double down, so that's good. Okay, so you told me about like your favorite failure of a client, right? Let's call them your failure, the $40 for a session.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
So what have been some of your favorite success stories?
Oh man,
too many.
Where could you even start at this point? Like one of the coolest things, actually, I guess maybe we'll go with this. One of the coolest things with this system is because there's no ceiling, someone might start with one price point, and then often from there you will also see that price point go up. As someone gets more and more invested as you go along, you're like, you know what, this really does work. Like, wow, I'm seeing even better results than I did in that first period. So then you get people who are not only seeing better results as you come through, that are also paying you better. It's just like a beautiful mesh of like, you know what? I know you see the value because you're paying me even more than you did at the beginning, and I know you're feeling great because your results scream that at you. Like so it's incredible, and it's you know you're doing the exact thing you need for that individual.
And the key with the pay how you feel too is we're very transparent with it.
Yeah.
Right? At the very beginning, everyone knows where the pay how you feel. So no one ever feels cheated.
Yeah.
Oh, I paid them 40, but that person paid 50, or oh, that person's paying you more, because it's very open and we're very honest with it, right? As opposed to other companies say like, oh, you gave them a discount, I want that discount.
Right. Yeah,
right?
You got to treat everyone the same, right?
Exactly, right? And a lot of times people are like, oh, pay how you feel, that must devalue your training. Like, you know, when you think of Value Village, you almost think of, more like, I don't want to say cheap because that's not the right word, but more affordable. But
more affordable,
right? Like the pay how you feel is just like we try to have the highest quality at the most reasonable price.
Yeah.
How do you beat that?
Right. It's all about underpriced value, right?
Yes.
You guys are underpriced compared to the big box guys, but value-wise, you're as good, if not better.
Right.
I see an interesting situation playing out where someone who hasn't been into fitness before starts getting their fitness life under wraps, and they've got that going positive, and then start benefiting in all other aspects of their life. Maybe they get a promotion. Maybe all of a sudden they go from paying you, $20 a session to $100 a session because your improvement in their fitness life has caused them to improve in every other aspect of life.
And a great story like that. I met a girl who's very highly had anxiety with men until she met her group. And we're like, oh my gosh, like these guys are pretty cool. We can talk to every one of them. She starts off, overweight. She loses 50 pounds. Then meets
I can't imagine losing 50 pounds.
And then meets her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So now she's confident, meets a great guy. She has a happy relationship now. All because of the pay how you feel. And us doing that boot camp where she was just walking through the park and then sees us, starts talking to us, and bam, right? So
she just walked out.
She was walking, right?
That's the great thing about having the bigger groups, right? It causes more of a scene.
Yeah, right.
I was really hoping you weren't going the direction of like, she lost all this weight, and now she's like playing guys. She's got like 5 guys going at once. She's a total player, man. She's killing it. So how much do you guys involve other aspects of one's life into the fitness side? Like, are you big on spirituality? Are you big on ideologies or anything of that nature? Philosophy?
In regards to incorporating that into training?
Well, yeah, or just like if people are, wanting to make themselves more rounded people altogether, like you guys kill it in the fitness side, but like do you offer services, or services sound so professional? Do you guys just ever like counsel people on like, this is discipline, this is going to permeate every other aspect of your life and it's going to change you?
To be honest with you, if you're not doing that as a trainer, you're probably not being very successful because that's the root of like health and fitness as a whole, you know what I'm saying? So like if you can't sit down with somebody and be like, yo, these are the parts in your life you need to adjust in order for you to fix this one issue you're having right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a daily, almost hourly occurrence.
Right.
I would say actually.
Yeah. Well, I've never gone to a personal trainer, so I don't know what the relationship is like. So I don't know, I don't know if you guys, to me, I don't know, not to say it would seem like overstepping, but I can see certain people like not react to that. However, I guess if you're in the mindset of pay as you go, if you're open to that idea, I'm sure you're open to a lot more.
100%. And like every trainer is different, 100%. I get pretty in depth with my clients, and I know their lives pretty well.
Yeah.
Like I try to create a pretty safe space for everyone to talk. And like it's not always even a two-way lane of conversation. Sometimes it's just an ear to listen. Yeah. Someone vent, and then they figure it out during the session. Because like if at the end of the day, if after the hour is done and you feel better, then that's a win. You know what I'm saying?
And everyone after workout session is always going to feel better, you know?
Unless they throw up.
Something, yeah.
But you feel better after you throw up, right?
That's true.
Unless you have to throw up again.
Point to where the garbage is, and like that's where you need to go if something happens. And then come back here and finish your squats.
Has that happened? Have you guys had pukers?
Yeah. It's usually that first session, you know, people aren't used to the pace, and you know, the first day we're always mindful of that, but then once you build that relationship with them, you know how hard you can push them.
Of course.
Like, there's the bucket. Let's get back to it.
Just so we're going to work you till you puke and just back that off just a little bit. How do you guys manage the winter months? Because you're doing all these 1 a week outdoor boot camps, and now we hit the winter. Like, do you guys still operate stuff in the winter?
Yes. Yeah. So last year we actually partnered with the Lexus of Edmonton. So they would actually clear their cars from the showrooms completely.
Come on, really?
And we'd bring our boot camp in there, and it was so badass. It was a really cool environment, and it's so unique too, right? And they were trying to connect with the community as well. So by bringing in 30, 40 people, you know, if they ever have to think about buying a car, then you know where they're going. They're going to Lexus. Of course,
brilliant on Lexus.
Right? So this year's a little bit different, as you know.
Yeah.
We got our new location coming up here.
Tell us about where we are.
We're at Rock Jungle CrossFit downtown.
Downtown.
This is a beautiful space. It's huge. It's massive. So, like, I guess we can even transition to this. December 1st, we're running our first indoor boot camp at the facility.
All right.
Which is hype.
Yeah.
It's also a fundraiser for the Edmonton Food Bank.
Got some cool sponsors with this. So we got Muscle Milk Canada sponsoring this event. So they're going to donate the recovery drink to all our participants, as well as
just almost
we almost fell off because Jay was so hyped.
we almost went down.
Jay loves muscle milk. So.
We don't have furniture that's bolted down.
So they're donating their muscle milk product to the Edmonton Food Bank as well. This is a great partnership. So we're housing it in Rock Jungle CrossFit downtown. Partnering with the YG Food Bank. So all the proceeds are going there. We're selling our t-shirts. 50% proceeds are going to the Edmonton Food Bank.
And guys, they're awesome t-shirts. I got one today. They're super comfortable. So you know.
On top of that, we got a social media campaign. For every like and comment, we're donating 10 cents from our pocket to the food bank. So it's Rock Jungle. So we're, you know, if everyone does their small part, we can make something special happen with this. Yeah.
So December 1st, what time?
7:30 p.m. till 8:30.
Okay. Yeah. And so how many people are you expecting?
Honestly, I'm thinking 100.
Do people have to sign up?
No,
just
show up and sign a waiver and
show up, shut up,
get some exercise in. Yeah, it's cool because Snap Fitness from Devon called me up and they're like, "Hey, we're bringing our team of trainers and our members. You guys are doing something real cool."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so they're bringing a whole contingent down.
Yeah, as well as Fargo's restaurant. They have a box. And one of my clients works there. She's one of the managers there, so they're putting up a donation box as well. So we're really reaching out to more people with this.
Are you guys going to do anything after? Like go for drinks or for a bite to eat? Set anything up?
Maybe a bite to eat.
Bite to eat?
Drinks aren't the most.
It's good to reward yourself, right?
Maybe a protein drink.
Yeah, protein
muscle
drink.
Milk, protein drink.
Hit the muscle milk bar.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys something because this question just occurred to me today, but fitness seems to be, as a whole to our society, increasing a ton. Like it just seems like gyms are popping up. It seems like, and I don't know if it's just exposure effect because of like social media and Instagram. And like I said, I'm not in this world very much, but it seems like there's way more today than there was 3, 4, 5 years, even a year ago. It seems like there's far more. So do you think that this is a sustainable trend that everyone who's jumping into fitness now is going to continue it for the rest of their life? If you don't think that, what can trainers do to make that happen? So let's start there, and then I want to extrapolate past that.
Yeah. Let me go first here. I've been in the industry for a while now. This will be my 6th year as a trainer, and I've seen the industry go from bad to worse to really amazing.
Okay.
And I actually accredit a lot to social media. I credit a lot of things to social media. And to be honest, I credit it to the Instagram models. Mm-hmm. I credit to the Pinterest workouts.
Yeah.
I credit it to apps.
Is this the bad or the good? Or
this is the both. Okay. This is just the awareness that there's exercise and you need to move to look a certain way. And then I also credit it to how quickly things like the obesity rate has increased, or how much better education, and it still needs to improve, of health concerns throughout the internet as well. Like, a lot of information is getting shared over the internet, and people are getting both excited and scared about it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, people now are aware of like where to start. Like, people are like, I can Google where to work out in my city. I can Google the best app for abs. I can Google
the app for abs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the internet has and it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this 5 years ago when I first started in the industry. It was a bad thing to have my phone on me as a trainer.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have your cell phone on you as a trainer, capturing your footage to show people what value you have, you're missing out. You're missing out. There's a whole
things are evolving, right?
There's the world out there.
Yeah.
Why would you stick to just your city? And so, like, I credit a lot of it to social media, and I do think it's incredibly sustainable, and it's incredibly sustainable as long as people can put out value, and as long as people can show value. And there was one more point I was going to say too, but it's incredibly sustainable, and it's only going to grow from here because people are becoming more aware that they need to do this.
It's something that January rolls around. People got New Year's resolutions. Like,
of course, we joke about it every year, but it's the same
true.
thing every year.
Like, it quiets down in December because of holidays, but then bam, January hits, and it's nuts, right? Because when January rolls around, people are always talking about their health. People don't. January doesn't hit, and people are like, oh, I gotta get a new car. No. Health is the first and foremost thing, right? So it's never going to run out.
It's never.
You know?
And it's just keeping people accountable to themselves. People know you need to be healthy. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh man.
But like, it seems like to older generations it was a secret. Like, I'm thinking of one video in particular. You guys are with a few people and you're teaching someone how to squat, and like, she just doesn't know the first thing about it. Like, she's like, so it just. I hope for a future that, you know, in 40 years or 50 years when we're all old geriatrics, that we're walking around, like, going to outdoor boot camps and stuff. Like, and I just, like, what is society going to look like when everyone's just more fit and in shape? And especially now that we know way more about nutrition, we're not getting pumped full of sugar. Well, we were the kind of last generation that got the sugary cereals, right? Yeah. Big up to Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops. Even the small things like Canada Food Guide, how much that's starting to change now. You know, before they were
that food pyramid, whatever it's doing,
it's upside down now, right?
So
like, what was it before? Like, how many servings of grains? Like 5 or 7 a day, and then it's like more than vegetables, which is, we know is not true. Right? You need to have as much vegetables as possible, but things are changing, which is good. I guess to be the devil's advocate on this, how social media is great, but you also see a lot of crap on social media, right? You see a lot of photos that are angled, lights, women, men who see these photos like, oh man, I should look like that. But really, is that really realistic? How many shots did it take to get that perfect angle of that guy's abs or that girl's, you know, her booty or whatever the case is, right? Tons. So that can also impact the way people think about fitness. Like, to be fit, you have to look that way, but that's not true.
Right. Everyone's fitness definition has got to be totally subjective and totally individualistic, right?
That's right.
Like, you guys probably know too, like, even some guy who, even if we're at the same body fat percentage and the same muscle mass, like, we're going to look different because just biologically we're built differently.
Right?
So do you guys feel a responsibility as informed trainers to spread sort of like falsify all that crap out there, to call people out? I mean, no one's better at that than Andrew Coates, our good mutual buddy. The Fitness W podcast. His posts are just the best at that kind of stuff. But it's got to be more than one person. I think it's got to be a community effort to put on blast people who are just spreading trash, right?
100%. And it's just like any industry. Like, fitness often gets thrown under the bus as like there's a lot of crap everywhere, but it's just like any industry. Any industry ever. You look at the music industry and it's all crap. Yeah. It's all crap. You know what I'm saying? So like the fitness industry, there's so many terrible, uninformed, uneducated people with platforms and followings, but there's so many more educated, well-versed people that are making a difference. And I feel like it's gotten so much better because people like Andrew, people like us on a training level, will be like, yo, that's wrong, that's garbage, don't listen to that.
Right.
And so I think it's everybody's responsibility that is educated, but you just can't stop the garbage.
Yeah. Well, and it's got to come from several very well people who have the time and the expertise, because we all know time's the most valuable commodity to us, and none of us have an excess amount of time, and if we do, we're not probably that successful. And so like to actually do all that research, it's a lot of work. So it's nice to have people informed that you can trust, that have done the research, that are really looking out for your best interest. And I'm sure like based on this community that you're building, that becomes easier to do, to disseminate that message, right?
100%.
So have you talk about the community that's building up around this, it's
almost like it's to the point where it's like we were even today this afternoon we're like, are we doing too much? Like are we spreading ourselves too thin? And I was like, no, I don't think so. I think we're doing because it's about trying to, because at the end of the day, I've said this I don't even know how many times today. It's about helping as many people as possible. And you can only do that with a huge community of people that are willing to also help other people out. When a person is willing to be like, yo, Free Fitness is doing a boot camp, come with me. I know you need it just as much as I do. You know what? Bring Sarah and Jessica as well. Let's go. Let's make a thing out of this. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing because we have this. It's because it started so small, but it started with all the good intentions. Now it seems like everyone wants to be part of Free Fitness.
It's coming full circle because people like our location here. Like we met Brett just through one of our trainers, Ahmed, one of the first trainers we partnered with. So that was a connection there. We met Brett. He's like, man, I see you guys are doing great things. I want to bring you guys into the gym. I'm not going to charge you. This is unheard of to have a trainer in a facility and they don't have to pay a dime.
It's insane.
So, and the reason why is he knows that, with us comes a pretty
glorious package.
Substantial.
Right? Let's say,
glorious package.
A couple hundred people. It's a great package that's coming along with it. And it's going to help put this gym on the map too, right? So, and shout out to all our trainers, by the way. We wouldn't be here without them. Ahmed, Max, Derek, Shri, Kevin, Trevor, Clifton. Our team's growing, right? So
don't forget anyone. Keep going. And you guys have people who specialize in different things. Like there's weight loss specialists, or there's a powerlifting specialist.
Olympic lifting.
You guys do yoga now, CrossFit, mobility, introducing meditation.
Meditation.
You're really giving people no excuse not to join.
And things are free. It's just what is your excuse at this point?
And that's a big thing, right? Biggest barriers is financials and committing to health.
Right.
So now with putting you through our commitment phase, you better commit to us if we're training for free. And it's pay how you feel.
Right.
So two barriers that have been, major excuses for the last forever. We're slowly kind of breaking that wall down in Edmonton. Right. So
I think the third barrier is probably like the fear of looking silly, right?
True.
For people who haven't been in fitness before. So how do you address that?
That's just education. That's the easiest. That's where we come to shine. You as a competent trainer should be able, our goal is so you can do your homework on your own. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to kick your butt during the hour sessions, and they should be great, and you should learn. I should be able to answer all your questions. And if I can't answer your question, our job is to find that answer for you. Our job is to educate you and teach you how to use the tool as the gym, and make it so you know how to use this tool for the rest of your life.
I always wonder with trainers, is it fair to say that a really great trainer kind of works himself out of a job eventually.
100%. And like that was actually one thing that scared me when I first started training. I was like,
what about 2 gigs?
I'm so good that I teach up somebody everything I know. And this is where self-education as a trainer comes to. You should always be learning.
Always got to level up.
And
right?
that's it. You should always know more than the person you're training, to a certain extent. Yeah. But then trainers also have trainers too.
Yeah, I'm training with Max right now because he's coaching me for my Olympic lifting competition.
Yeah, absolutely. You could be totally different disciplines, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a beautiful thing that your knowledge it's infinite, right? You can continue to grow.
Yeah.
Right?
Awesome. So why is it that you guys work so well together? I got
did
you guys like seem like old war buddies?
We're both entrepreneur mindset. What I was lacking at that time is that social media knowledge, and this is where actually trainers also fail because
swagger. Right?
Yeah, I'm the good looks though.
Hey, depends if you like white dudes with dreadlocks.
So with trainers, there's only so much time in the day where they could train 6 to 8 hours. Typically, they lack that social media aspect of their platform, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. But when Jay came in, he had such a good background in this area.
Yeah.
Free fitness is very powerful because we are very consistent with the message we post, and our brand is kind of growing that way. Hey, Jay?
100%.
And you're the driving force behind that?
Well, I was initially, but Tony does just as much work as I do at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't because actually where I even got the social media from was through music because I knew like. To take over the music game, you had to do it through social media. So I spent years and years trying to figure out how to brand myself as an artist and things like that. And then we put it together with fitness, and I was like, it's so much easier to do it with fitness.
Yeah, like, there's so much value you can have.
So much you can like with a musician. I can give songs all day for free.
Yeah.
But if you don't like hip hop, you're not gonna like it. But if we can teach you how to squat. Yeah. Who doesn't need to know how to squat?
Fitness is universal. Everyone needs it, right?
So then we combined with this, and it's just this beautiful thing because we both love watching it grow. We get very inspired by, oh shit, like we only had 100 followers yesterday. Now we got over 3,000 followers. Like
that's some serious.
It's grown over the last 2 years. And we continue to plan content. How can we offer more education? How can we make this post really engaging? And I'm addicted to it as much as Jay is now because our following they love it. Like, it's Wednesday. What's the workout Wednesday this week? Right. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I feel like we just balance each other out well. To circle back to that question. Yeah, I feel like we just have a good mix of, Tony's of the two of us a little bit more well composed, a little bit more proper spoken.
Okay.
And he's great. You know what I'm saying? He's great with the numbers. He's great with that kind of thing. And then like I'm a little bit louder.
So you guys compliment one another.
And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a good balance. I'm not saying that either of us can't do the other thing. It's just that we just have a good mesh of how we fit together.
Yeah. Just find what you're good at and just triple down on that.
Yeah, and triple down on that. And we cover each other's weaknesses.
That's perfect.
Right? So
how do you guys decide what to pursue with new initiatives or new ideas? Because it seems like you've got so much, but again, you said you don't want to stretch yourself too thin. So is it like crowdsourcing? Do you just simply ask your following or your people like, hey, what would you guys like to see us offer next? Or is it just kind of, your core group and you're like, no, we kind of know the direction we're headed?
Damn, that crowdsourcing idea actually might be a good one. I never even thought about that. But typically we sit down, and actually me and Tony will sit down typically with the idea, and we'll contemplate it. And then we'll usually get a feedback from some of our trainers as well. We'll sit down, we're talking to so-and-so, we have this idea, like, And
the big thing is that before we launch something or post something, we always think about what the end goal is. We don't just post to post. Like, oh shit, we haven't posted in 2 days, we got to post something today. We never do that. There's always some sort of goal at the end of what we're trying to achieve. Very driven on that way.
You're not posting for likes and shares. You're posting to spread information.
Exactly.
And that spreads organically, great, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's next in 2018 for you guys? I mean, you got your 3-year anniversary coming up, right? Jordan, 3 years.
Yeah, I remember we did the freaking we did a presentation at my old school that I got certified in.
Yeah.
And they're like, what class are you in? I'm like, like a couple of years ago. And they're like, no, I'm pretty sure you were the first class 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
I was getting dated, eh?
Damn.
Well, our next step, 2018, is that we're running this facility now at Rock Jungle here. So we have our free fitness open gym here, kind of tapping into this new market. So it's definitely new for us, but one of the things that separates us from the other gyms in Edmonton is that it's the pay how you feel personal training.
Right.
Our clients still have to purchase memberships to be part of this gym, but we're the only ones that are focusing on that one-on-one personal or pay how you feel, which really is pretty cool.
So I have it straight. You have to purchase a membership to be part of Rock Jungle.
That's right.
And then you utilize the pay as you feel with you guys.
That's right.
Because then you can still use like the gym facility as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you drop in here?
100%.
Yeah. And then with the membership, you can do the other classes as well if you feel like it.
The CrossFit is actually a little more expensive. It's like $180 a month, but you have unlimited CrossFit drop-ins.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's this new challenge that we're looking forward to taking care of, and we're expecting a lot of mistakes, but
learning opportunities.
It's learning opportunities. That's the thing, right? You make errors, but you adjust. Trial and error until you get it right. And I know we will get it right because with our team, man, like we have people we are very always supported. We're never going into things alone, which is. The best part.
And I guess that's also another thing we really want to focus on. Not only growing the gym, but in a sense that means also growing our team too. And we're looking for like-minded individuals that are really to make a difference.
Yeah.
And grow and see where we can really take this brand and grow this community and see where we can really take it.
Yeah. It's because your philosophy is so rock solid. It's just automatically weeds out the shitty people you don't want.
Yes.
There you go. You just attract people who are open and think the same way as you guys, which is unbelievable.
And as a trainer, if you're not confident in your product, we probably don't recommend pay how you feel. You know what I'm saying? So
go on defense, not offense.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly could not imagine being brand new in the industry and someone being like, "Yeah, we want to pay how you feel system." Damn, this motherfucker must be crazy. It took me so long to figure out my own value as a trainer. So our system really it creates such an incredible team of trainers because in order to run the pay how you feel, you must think you must be confident. You have to be confident in order for this to work. And our team is phenomenal.
You gotta be hungry too, right? You know that if you're not giving it your all, you're gonna fall off.
And on top of that too is that we help trainers start their own company as well. So we're partners with all these trainers, but they have their own company.
Oh, okay.
So Derek owns Dynamic Fitness, Max owns Maximum Fit, Ahmed owns Illuminating Strength, Clifton owns Lift On. We are just the umbrella for networking.
I see.
Right? So they're growing their own brand, and we're growing our own brand, but we help each other as partnering companies.
That's awesome.
Which is really special too.
Yeah.
Right? So
where can people go to find more about you, to read up, if they're still unsure despite your phenomenal boosting of this whole endeavor? And I highly recommend everyone check it out, but I don't know why I look at the mic when I say that. You guys right there. So where can people go to see? What's your website? What's your social?
The website, freefitnessinc.com. Instagram is free with the acronyms. So F.R.E.E.fit.
Okay.
Facebook, you can find us at Free Fitness Inc. We're all over social media.
All of them.
Yeah, so
actually, and YouTube. That's one of the big things we're working on in the new year.
I saw your YouTube channel. Yeah. Subscribe.
Oh, thank you. That's one thing. Yeah.
Just wait. So we've been holding off of that, but coming January, we want to offer more value by creating home workouts, tutorials, for people who are looking to get into exercise. So we will provide that value.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do you manage or do you measure rather? What you think you give versus what you get, or is it just such faith in the system that you're like, no, it's coming back. We're getting ours.
Just keep giving. Keep giving. We'll see what happens. See what happens. Why not? What's worse than giving?
Which is cool in that December 1st boot camp.
Yeah, right? December 1st. I'll check the schedule, but I'm here if I can make it for
Beautiful.
sure.
That's what's
Beautiful.
up.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Anything else? Any last words? That sounds bad. Any last words?
Any last words? We the illest.
Yeah.
Come train with us. Come
Yeah.
to our boot camp. Buy my album on Spotify.
Yeah, check out Jordan's music.
No?
No, I'm excited for the future. Thanks for having us so much.
Thanks for having us, Shane.
Oh,
Appreciate
thanks.
it, man.
Pleasure to meet you guys. Really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Awesome. Ciao. Again, thank you so much, guys, for listening. A couple things before you go. Please don't forget to check out F.R.E.E Fitness's fundraiser boot camp, December 1st, 7:30 to 8:30 at Rock Jungle CrossFit on 123rd Street. Definitely be there. I'll see y'all there. The other thing, too, is I want to hear from you guys. Let me know who you want on this podcast. I've got a couple great suggestions that have led to awesome episodes already, but we've got a lot of good people in Edmonton to highlight, so let me know. Take care.